Yes, we're just going to go through a bit of this is the first video of European heavyweight boxing history, but I'm just going to have a little bit of history on the whole lot. So France was one of the first European countries to adopt boxing professionally out of this lot, dropping the national sport of la savate, or savate it's called, using the feet, which the old basically the old sailors it was invented from them days. They had shoes on, how to kick with shoes on. Actually Georges Carpentier, the guy we go on about next, he was one of them champions. They'd hold under the side of the ship and kick all sorts, punt with the shoes, the sailor shoes. But I digress. So yeah, the national sports of art, using the feet. For the fast coming trend was la boxe anglaise, meaning England, basically the way, our style, Queensbury. This, and also saying that, you did have a few savate fighters come over when it was bare knuckle. But back to here, so Queensbury boxing. This was in the very early days of the century, and it spread rapidly, our style of boxing, to the French people, until French boxers advanced to such an extent that they become worthy opponents for their British counterparts. There was no control over European championships as such, though, except for the laws laid down by the British establishment. But in 1911, the International Boxing Union, they had their own world titles, these people, situated. George Godfrey fought for one and won it at the end of his career. But the IBU, International Boxing Union, situated in Paris to begin. Was situated in Paris to begin with. Formed itself not only of the control of the championship titles, but also generally to supervise the sport in all departments. It continued to function in World War II. Following World War II, its name changed to European Boxing Union. Yes, so from the IBU, the International Boxing Union, it went in 1946 to the EBU. And again, so obviously come away from world titles, and it continued ever since, issuing bouts for the winners of European titles. At the present time, this is in the 80s, the present time, there are 20 countries affiliated with the EBU. That's changed now, I'm sure. Australia, Belgium, yes, I won't go through them. The EBU is affiliated with the World Boxing Council. So, I'm going to go straight in here. So, International Boxing Union title here. So, in 1913, June the 1st, Georges Carpentier, he was a Savate champion as well, but he wins by KO against Billy Wells from the UK, Bombardier Billy Wells. 1913, December the 8th, Georges Carpentier wins by KO against Billy Wells, from Bombardier Billy Wells from UK, in the first round. So 1914, January the 19th. Georges Carpentier from France wins by KO against Pat O'Keefe from the UK, not to be confused with the kickboxer Pat O'Keefe. Obviously, he was around in modern times. So, go back, I'm digressing. So 1914, January 19th, Georges Carpentier from France wins by KO against Pat O'Keefe from the UK. Then July the 16th, 1914, Georges Carpentier from France wins by disqualification against Gunsmoke Smith from the UK. He apparently knocked Jack Johnson out in a sparring session. But that was in London, England. Gunboat fought lots of Hall of Famers. Give Jack Dempsey, the modern Jack Dempsey of the 20s, not the non-apparel from further back, give him lots of problems. So, 1919, which was the year that Jack Dempsey won his title off Jess Willard in Toledo in the third round. But here, 1919, July the 19th, 1919, Georges Carpentier from France wins by KO in the 8th round. It's Dick Smith from UK. But Carpentier would fight Jack Dempsey later on, but again here in 1919, December the 4th, Georges Carpentier from France wins by KO against Joe Beckett from the UK in London, England. 1922, May the 11th, Georges Carpentier wins by KO in the first round against Ted Kid Lewis from the UK in London. Again, Ted Kid Lewis, yeah, fought at heavyweight as well, but he started his career near bantam. He won the welterweight title a few times. Yeah, up in my top 10 pound for pound. Ted Kid Lewis, maybe 11, 10-ish. So 1922, September the 24th, Battling Siki from Senegal wins by KO over Georges Carpentier from France in Paris. Really did a number on him. Battling Siki would fight Mike McTeague when he won the world title and defended it in Ireland when there's a civil war going on. Yeah. So I don't know what the crack would have been with a decision. I don't think it would have been particularly fair, especially him. Yeah. So 1923, February the 17th, Emilio Spalla wins on points against Piet van der Veer. Yeah, Piet van der Veer. That was in Rome. So Piet van der Veer. Then 1923, September 22nd, Emilio Spalla draws with Jack Humbeck. That was in Milan. September, should I say, 22nd, 1923. Then 1924, September the 28th, Emilio Spalla wins on points over 20 rounds against Piet van der Veer. And that's the Netherlands he comes from, Piet van der Veer. Wins on points over 20 rounds in Milan. Then 1926, when Jack Dempsey would lose his title. Well, he would lose in a match for his title against Gene Tunney. 10 rounds. So again, 1926, May the 18th. The Basque woodchopper from Spain, Paulino Uzcudan, wins on points over 15 rounds against Emilio Spalla. Yeah, and that was in Barcelona. So, 1926, June the 14th, Harry Persson from Sweden wins by KO in the 11th round against Phil Scott from the UK in London, England. Then 1928. That was when the Olympics was in Amsterdam. 1928 here though, July the 8th, Paulino Uzcudan from Spain, who would later fight Carnera, Primo Carnera, and Joe Louis. And Harry Wills, again, 1928 here, July the 8th, Paulino Uzcudan from Spain wins by KO in the 11th round against Ludwig Hayam. That's from Germany in San Sebastian. In 1929, year of the stock market crash in USA, 1929, February the 3rd, Perrier Charles. 1929, February the 3rd, wins on points over Ludwig Hayman from Germany in Dortmund. Then June the 30th, Perrier Charles wins on points over 15 rounds against Joe Santa, and he's from Portugal. Santa, that was in Portugal, Lisbon. Then 1929, July 31st, Perrier Charles wins by disqualification of the 5th round against Giacomo Panafillo in Brussels, Germany. Then 1929, September the 7th, Pero Charles wins in the 11th round. Referee stops the fight against Franz Diener from Germany in Berlin, Germany. In 1930, May the 31st, Pero Charles wins on points over 15 rounds against Roberto Roberti in Brussels. In 1930, July the 20th, Pero Charles wins by KO against Piet van Diver from Netherlands. That was second round KO for Pero Charles. 1931, July the 8th, Pero Charles wins on points over 15 rounds against Maurice Grizel from France. Wins on points over 15 rounds in Brussels. Then 1931, August the 30th, Hein Muller from Germany wins on points over 15 rounds against Pero Charles in Berlin, Germany. Then 1932, year of the Olympics in USA. So 1932, May the 28th, Pero Charles wins on points over 15 rounds against Hein Muller in Brussels, Germany. So, into 1933, a bit of more modern now. So 1933. May the 13th, 1933, Paulino Uzquedin from Spain wins on points over 15 rounds against Pero Charles. That was in Madrid. Then 1933, October the 22nd, Primo Carnera wins on points over 15 rounds against Paulino Uzquedin. He was from Italy, Primo Carnera. Uzquedin from Spain. 1935. So June the 21st, 1935, Pero Charles wins on points over Vincenz Hauer from Germany in Berlin. November the 26th, Pero Charles wins on points over 15 rounds against Roberto Yamusin. That was in Charleroi. So 1937, March the 17th, Arno Kolblin from Germany wins on points over 15 rounds against Pero Charles in Berlin. In 1938, March the 4th, Heinz Lazek wins by disqualification against Arno Kolbin from Germany in Berlin, Germany. Then 1938, September 16th, Heinz Lazek. So 1938, August the 10th, Heinz Lazek wins on points against Santo di Leo from Italy in Vienna, Austria. Then 1938, September 16th, Heinz Lazek wins on points against Walter Niesel from Germany. He would be a opponent from Max Schmeling and Tommy Farr later on. That was in Vienna, Australia. So September 16th, 1938, Heinz Lazek wins on points over 15 rounds against Walter Niesel. That was in Germany. He was from Germany and it was in Vienna, Austria. 1939, January the 20th, Heinz Lazek wins on points over Carol's Seas from Belgium. It was in Berlin. And 1939, March the 17th, Adolf Häuser from Germany wins by KO in the 5th round against Heinz Lazig. That was in Berlin, Germany. And in 1939, July the 2nd, Max Schmeling wins by KO against Adolf Heiser from Germany in Stuttgart. Again, Schmeling got beaten actually, knocked out by Gypsy Daniels, but he would go on to, he would have a really good career. He got stopped by Joe Louis in the 1st round, but stopped Joe Louis himself. Yeah, it was a good fighter, Max Schmeling. So I'm going to leave it there. That's the end of the first of the European heavyweight boxing history videos. Bang.